Okay, welcome guys to my first ProcessWire tutorial. I will try to explain to you some basic ways to build web pages with the ProcessWire CMS, and I want to talk a little bit about building pages with this crazy fast CMS. Please note that I don't want to explain basic HTML and CSS, so it would be great if you know some of these words and how to use it. The same applies for PHP. You don't need to be a perfect programmer, but a little bit about the syntax would be nice. I'm starting my page with the ProcessWire blank profile. That means I've downloaded the regular ProcessWire installation, uploaded to my server, and after that I'm using a blank profile from Soma. You can find it under modules, and then you go to site profiles and looking for the ProcessWire blank profile. And you can follow these instructions. You basically replace some folders in your installation before you install ProcessWire. This is important. And after you did this and follow the installation process, you will get something like this. This is a clean ProcessWire installation. I have no demo pages here, and also no fields or templates are set up. So the best way to start a new page is using the blank profile or create your own profile. If you don't have this, then you could install it again with the profile or just delete the pages you find here and the templates, fields, and the files on the web server. Okay, let's go. I want to convert a free template to ProcessWire, and I found this on blacktie.co. It's a page where you can get free bootstrap templates, and I think it looked nice and it has everything I want to explain, so I will talk about this template. So, okay. You can also take your own HTML template, just make it like a single file HTML, put in your text, and don't think about ProcessWire, and then you could follow my tutorial and later add the dynamic content. Okay. ProcessWire has three things you should keep in mind, and the tiniest element or thing you can find in a ProcessWire CMS are the fields. The fields are basically fields that contain some content, and they can be text fields, they can be date input fields, or those can be files. And these are the smallest elements you can find. For example, I will go to Setup and create a new field under Fields. I click Add a new field, and I will just type in a name. That's important because we will use it later. And I'm calling this, for example, headline. And I say this is, and now you can see the field types, for example, this is text. But you can also choose something different depending on your site. I will come to this later. Just look, and the label is to describe the field, so I'm saying headline. Okay, save. And now my web server is kind of slow. You can reuse fields, so you don't have to make an extra field for every label you have. Okay, fine. So we have the default title, which is used even by the blank profile. It's used in ProcessWire for the backend. And we have the body field here. And also some system stuff behind you don't see, but that's for later. Okay, we have our field, and now we go to Setup, and the next thing we have in ProcessWire are the templates. Templates are basically a collection of fields grouped together as a form, and a template has something, a file behind it that will be output if the template or page of template is being viewed or requested. What does this mean? So we look at templates, and you will find two templates here. The one is for home and the other one is basic page. And like in other tutorials, we could now create another template, or we could easily go to basic page and okay, we make a new one. Sorry. Okay, we'll add a new template and ignore this warning and just type in create a new template without file. I'm calling this one example. Don't want to use other fields and click add template. Okay, and if I go into example, I can now add my fields. So you see title is a required field. I could delete this, not sure, but don't do this, it's bad. So just add, for example, your headline and maybe a little body field and save the whole page, add a template. And now we have a template with 3 fields, and from this template we can create our pages, or basically our elements in the whole website. Don't see them just like pages, see them like content elements, or like your Doom tree in your browser. The ProcessWire is built on a tree structure, so that means home is our absolute root, and we create pages under it. So I click in new, add new, and type in an example. This is the title field, and here you can see it generates a nice clean URL that you could modify if you want. And in the last step, I can choose the template, and I'm choosing my just created example template, pressing save, and now the TinyMC loads. Okay, we see our page with our fields, headline, body, and the title field in the template of example under page named example. So I'm typing something here, and here I could say build with you can find other fields in the modules directory on ProcessWire.com. You find other editors or color input fields, so just look there. Okay, publishing the site, and I want to create a child page. I'm saying add new page here. Another example, and I'm calling this one, for example, demo. Okay, again, template. Okay, just some full text. Okay, publish this one, and if we look back at the page tree, we can see with home, there's another page example, and below this there's a page, another example. You can find a really advanced tree under the ProcessWire homepage. If you go to ProcessWire.com and try the demo and look into their backend, then you will see a large tree. Okay, just for a short introduction, we will actually come back to go to the templates now. I think it's a better way to do. By the way, those is the not found page, and these are pages for the admin panel and a trash bin. Just ignore them or use them later. Okay. We've said we have a template example, and as I've said before, each template has a file associated with it that will be rendered if the page or a page of this template is requested by a front-end user. And if you look at our homepage now, we will basically see nothing because this is the blank profile, and if we type in, we'll see the page we're looking for is not found. Okay, we are seeing this because there's no template file behind our example template. Speaking about files, just switch. I will switch to the ProcessWire directory here on a subdomain. After installation, your directory or structure will look like this. You have an HDSS file, you have an index.php and install.php that I can delete now. Delete this now. Okay, it's already gone by ProcessWire, so thanks, Ryan. Okay, perfect. The important stuff are those two folders. One is the wire folder containing all stuff from ProcessWire itself. If you upgrade your ProcessWire version, you basically replace this folder, and everything you do for your site, you are doing in the site folder. So don't touch this one, go to this one. You can find more information about those folders on the ProcessWire RP page around here. There we'll find the folder directories. Okay. Inside we want to look for templates because this is the place we will be. And inside templates, you can see there's not much. A README from blank profile. This is the admin PHP, don't delete this one. And those two come with the blank profile. What we are doing now is create a new file. We're calling it exactly as a template. We're calling example.php. So ProcessWire knows it has a template, or ProcessWire knows I want a page example. That means it will look for this page here and sees there's a page example with the template example. The template example must be in my folder site templates, and then I'm looking for example.php, template name.php. If this file is not found, it's throwing a not found error message, but now it should display a blank page. You can see a blank page because example.php is an empty file. Okay. And if we type stuff here, we can see that it's displayed in the browser. Okay. That's on this way you can see the relationship between the ProcessWire backend, between the pages and the templates and the files on your directory. And you can find more here on this page, on the HPI directories page. Okay, let's go to the funny stuff or the interesting stuff. We have a page example with some fields with content or text inside, and I want to just output this one, and I will output it with PHP. I'm opening PHP. If your server supports the short tag, you can use a short tag. If not, you have to write PHP. So I'm using a short tag and saying echo, and now I'm using $page. This is the object of the current page, and this has a title. Looking at the browser, you can see now the title example. Just delete this stuff here, just making it a little bit nicer. If you want to access another field, you can also say $echo $page headline, for example. It's the field name, and we can output it by this example, some cool stuff. Same applies to the body field. You could also use this short tag echo $page. So this is basically the way to output your stuff in the ProcessWire template API, and you can access any field you're on the page with it. Or for start, look at a cheat sheet on ProcessWire.com, and they will find a $page reference, and it says, oops, sorry. And as you can see here, we have the same thing, $page title, for example, or just $page fields, all the fields available. This is the basic way to use ProcessWire. I think it's a good point to stop here and look at our template before I go into the other variables or objects available. So we are making a break and stop and start with our free template. It's from Blackday, as said before. Okay. The first thing I'm doing is to analyze our site structure or design or your already coded HTML layout, whatever you have. I'm looking for repeating elements, and I'm looking for single text output that should be dynamic, and I'm looking for stuff that is static. For example, the spot logo here may be static. So as we look at this template, we can see besides the spot logo and navigation, those are basically repeating links to other pages. And in the end, there's another item that's not the same as the ones before. It's an icon to a modal. So this is one element and this is another element here in my eyes. Below there's a image in the background and there's a headline or a text overlaid. And after this text there are 3 little columns, and in these columns I'm seeing or they are repeating again because I've got an icon, a label, or a little title and some text here again. And below there are another repeating elements. Those are 3 iPhones, 3 images if you look at the source code, and some little label up here. And this is the question, do we want it to be static or not? Same comes here, just more headlines, text, and another image, some images, and links to other pages like the Facebook or Twitter page. Okay. So look at the stuff you have and try to analyze it a little bit and decide what do you want to make dynamic. In this case, I would make the navigation dynamic, the headline here, those 3 things, those, but for example not the links in the footer. Okay, so as I've said before, we have pages in ProcessWire, and pages are more than just pages. Pages could be every kind of content, and for example, this is one page, the home page. This is another page. This is a page about services, and the last page is work. So basically this is an element that repeats 3 pages or 4 pages with their titles, and it has to know its URL. Another example for pages could be those things here, those iPhones. If you click on work, then you will find a list of all their clients and basically again those iPhones. So we could say this is works, and below pages that are projects, and each project has an image, and each project has a client name and some text here, a list. And on the home page we want to output, repeating output, our 3 latest projects. So the 3 pages with a template project, and only the image and the link to the project. While, for example, this text here, I would say this is something only available on the homepage, so it's a field of the homepage. And this could also be clients below works, for example, and their logos. Okay, I hope I didn't irritated you, confused you, but just look a little bit closer to your page. Okay. What I'm doing now, I'm the guy who does the backend stuff first. So I'm going to ProcessWire and I will create the fields for my page, and I'm starting, I will lift this one out. I will start with this headline. This is basically an HTML headline. It has an h1 tag and an h2 tag, so I could say it's 2 fields. It's not a title could be spot. So we have to create another field for this one. Okay, setup, and then clap for our slow server. Fields. We already could use this headline field for this headline, so we need another headline for the second thing. and I'm calling this subheading. Again, I'm say this is a text field, calling this subheadline. Description could be added later. Okay. Then I'm looking for other fields. I know I will need a field for this text here. And this is another. Okay, we can use the body field for this. And then we need a field for image in the header. I'm making another field. I'm naming this head image, for example. Then I'm saying image and calling it image for header. Okay. I wanted to modify this field a little bit. You can go to details, for example, and configure some stuff. So I only want JPEGs, and I only want one file to be input because it's not a slider, it's just a single image. Okay, and I don't need a description field. Just play with those settings, and one day you will be glad that those exist because some of them are pretty useful. Make it require again, so save. Okay. Basically, we have an image field now where I can upload one image, a JPEG image, and it don't have to show a description field, and I only want to display the thumbnails in a page editor, so I don't have this large 2000 pixel image in my backend here. Okay. Okay. Just looking. That's great. I don't need anything more. Okay, I need another field. I will, for later use, I'm calling it image. So I'm getting image, going to this one won't be required. Okay, I'm calling this single image. Okay. One file, save. I will use it later. Okay. One thing you should know is that the later home page has the template home. It's already here. You can change this, but don't do it because it could easily lock you out of the admin backend. You have to do all your right management on your own, and don't do it. Okay, just use it as it is, and yeah. So what we are doing, we're adding our field headline and our subheading and our head image to this page. You can use this body field later down here. Okay, that's fine. And I will save this page. And then I will fill in some data. Edit home. Okay, so this one is called Sport. I'm just Sport Pro, so I'm calling it Sport Example. I will just copy this headline here. It says doesn't take a rocket scientist. So, and I will copy this one here. It takes a designer. So the sub headline. And for the image, I have to actually choose the folder of the yeah, where I find it, did I put it? Okay, there's its sport theme, and under assets I hope I find this image, and there is the header. Okay, this is our header. I've taken directly from template. You can see it's a thumbnail, it's not 1500 by 700 pixels, and we will just delete this stuff here and copy over this one here. Okay, perfect. Want to use, okay. And I didn't say it takes that assigner. It's not good because it's probably made with CSS. Okay, going to the home page again, we can use here the view link. We'll see basically only the body field. And now let's have a look at the actual template. Just going to site templates and find the home PHP. And as you can see, nothing is in here. It's basically just echoing the page body. Okay, what I'm doing now is I will use the spot him I've put here. Great. And I will do the following stuff. I will put all those assets right into, okay, wait, not this way. Okay, I'm going to templates and I'm using this folder here. Okay, never mind, better here, so you don't have to fix any paths. Okay, I'm basically uploading all my stuff. You can use your own structure like you want. I'm just using the structure they provided with their free template. So I have an assets folder with CSS, JS folders inside. But you can basically do anything you want. You could do a folder here called images, for example. Or you could do everything in one large folder without any structure. Or you could also do it on another path, not on the site template path, as long as you keep your PHP files right here. So you could put your assets to your root path and say /assets. Okay, everything's uploaded thanks to my slow internet. And I'm opening the index file here. Okay, all I need. Thanks. And basically we see their HTML structure, and we will try to replace this with our dynamic structure. I'm copying it, and for the start I will paste everything inside my home PHP. And if I save now, it should look the same as here. So hoping the best, and the best isn't working. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, first thing we will learn, okay, okay, sorry. Why doesn't it work? Because our paths are incorrect. So the first thing we'll do is we'll fix those paths. You could now easily say something like site templates assets, and you will see that it now takes the bootstrap file. But this is kinda stupid, because if you move your page, this path wouldn't be correct. So what I'm doing is I'm using some of the awesome ProcessWire HBI. There's a variable for the site template path, and if you look under the cheat sheet, just go to config, and then you will find something like config URLs templates, and you can read URLs to your site template directory. Okay, basically I'm echoing this one, and as you can see, it should remain the same. And syntax error, I shouldn't put it. Okay, better this. Okay, it stays the same. Doing it here, and probably onto the JS on the bottom. Okay, so now our paths are fixed. And again, I was so stupid to copy the wrong one. Okay, save it. Sorry. Okay, looks much better. Okay, those images are missing, but we can work with this one. It looks some kind like this one. Okay, so the first thing you learned is how to use the $config object and to get a URL to your site templates folder. Looking at the source code, you see it outputs site templates, but it will output the right part if you move this whole site or some URL change. Okay. So first thing to do is to start on the top, and I will start with the title. And I'm going to just put in the $page title. And as we've learned before in our example, it now outputs the page title here. Okay, great. So if we want to output this headline, we should search for it, and we'll find it here in the H1. Okay. So this was $page headline. Okay. Note I'm using the short syntax for $PHP PHP echo, so it just looks a little bit more like a template language. And we can see it doesn't take a rocket scientist. And this is now loaded from the backend. We can prove that by just going to this one. And if we change it now, for example, it does take, oh, whatever, just save it. Okay, so you can see it changes depending on our backend. This is the way we'll do all of our pages, so, or everything here. We'll now output the other one, the second heading with $page subheading. This was the right field name. And it wasn't the right field name, it was subheadline. Okay. Subheading, it's not camel case, sorry. That looks better, okay. And we've now a problem with the scientist being bold, so I'm just trying to cheat a little bit and put it onto our backend. This should work, I hope. And looking after this. Okay, it does take a rocket scientist. It is. Okay, this is now something loaded from our backend from ProcessWire. Okay, looks great so far. Just replacing this one here down there, and then we will move on to the more complicated stuff. We are creating first class design. We are creating, there we go. Okay, I'll just do everything inside and $page body. Okay, so now we should look the same. Okay, it looks the same, but I should be able. Nah. And again, it looks like magic. We create second classes. Okay. I will talk about the navigation later, and I'm just thinking about what to do first. First, we'll take a break, and we'll see you later, and I think it's the best way. So to conclude this whole thing, insert ProcessWire with a blank profile. After that, code your HTML template, look for repeating elements, analyze it, and then try to build your first fields with ProcessWire. Everything that's on one page, only on the homepage, for example, can use a field, and then replace the fields in your template file, okay, on the site templates, with the corresponding HPI call, or output the PHP object here. And by doing this, you will create the first version of your dynamic site. And in the next tutorial, we will cover how to do repeating elements, So we will do this one with the repeater fields, and we will do the latest work section by using another pages and output their images. Okay, thanks and see you later.